Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Harrow farm guide video that you've all been waiting for. Maybe not all of you, some of you I guess, even though you've probably already gotten Harrow anyway by the time this video goes up. Sorry for that, but hey, this video may be useful to some new subs in the future. And speaking of subs, I want to run through this real quick. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed recently. I'm glad you're able to find some value in this channel and I massively appreciate your awesome comments. You guys rock. So then, let's go, right? Actually, no, cause this is a Warframe where it's gotten to the point where I'm just gonna tell you, do some hardcore Fisher run sessions with your mates, sell the prime trash and just buy Harrow from the marketplace. Just buy Harrow. Don't farm for the blueprints. What are you doing with your life? Warframe is not your life. But for every one of you that thinks otherwise, feel free to keep watching though. Harrow is one of, if not the hardest Warframe to grind for. There's Nidus, Korra and stuff like that, but anyway, one of the reasons I say that is the parts or the blueprints for those parts don't all drop from a single mission. In fact, there's no typical boss fight like in the past couple of videos, just quote-unquote normal missions, but that doesn't mean it's easy, oh hell no. And that's why you need this video, because I'm gonna teach you how to farm for the neuroptics and systems. Neuroptics and systems. I'm not gonna teach you how to get the chassis, everyone has one, or a couple hundred to be honest. I mean, according to the drop rate figures, it seems that the Harrow chassis would be the hardest to obtain. But I've made millions in this game selling blueprints for the Harrow chassis. Okay, maybe not millions, I think it was about 300,000 credits, but hey, that's a lot. It's almost as if the chassis would magically drop into your inventory if you stood still enough in your ship and asked the universe before you. Not making any sense, but if you don't have the chassis for some reason guys, just go do a couple of Fisher runs. Any Fisher run, doesn't matter, you'll get one, I promise you that. So then, how about the neuroptics? Okay, for this one you're gonna have to farm it on Pago or Pago, whatever, at the Kuva Fortress. It's a spy mission and yeah, not as easy as your typical spy mission, but you can get the hang of it. Ask someone to carry you through, do it in a public lobby, or just do it yourself. You gotta learn these things someday, Jimmy. You gotta. It's pretty obvious for me to suggest either a Loki or Ivara for this with a max duration build of course, or Ash if you don't have either of those. Ciphers would help as well, they're cheaper than chips to build so no excuses. But honestly you could even use a Rhino too if you want, if you got the skills to get through with them hacks, or if your operator can stay invisible for a long time and move faster than my country's economy. Actually, that's way too easy. Move faster than my life in 2018? Actually, that one was terrible too. My jokes suck, otherwise I wouldn't be here begging for you guys to sub. Keep in mind that the neuroptics will only drop on the third rotation or rotation C. Now that does not mean that you go straight for the marker that says C on your map and solve just that. You gotta do everything. And the order doesn't matter, all you gotta know is complete the mission, hack all the stations, then extract. I managed to get the neuroptics blueprint on my first try, so that's awesome. Don't hate me guys, sometimes you'd be like that. I don't think this is the hardest part to farm for, and hey, at least you could sharpen your spy or ninja skills while you're at it. There's no real meta for this other than going in with a squad, which I do recommend if possible. And now, we arrive at our real destination, the real point of this video, how to farm for the Harrow Systems Blueprint. Go on the internet and you'll find that this is by far the most annoying part to get. Yes, it drops on the third rotation of every defection mission, but nobody plays defections. In fact, I was forced to grind solo for this because there was literally no one doing any one of the 3 defection missions in the game. So I was forced to endure 8 rounds all by myself. Yes, 8 rounds. That's how many you gotta do because the rotation here works like AABC instead of ABC. So that sucks. You'll need to save 8 squads from the infested before extraction, which means a good long grind. God, why can't it just be capture missions? So anyway, I highly recommend not doing this alone. You don't need a whole squad either. Just one other teammate would suffice. The most ideal team IMO would be a sexy duo of Trinity and Ember. Primed versions if possible. Basically, you got healing and AoE destruction covered, and since the workload is split between you two, it just feels easier. If you're going to do it solo anyway, then there are plenty of frames with plenty of creative builds out there. Honestly, in my opinion, Trinity or Trinity Prime specifically felt the easiest. Sure, you could try Nezha, Loki, Oberon, but Trinity Prime here, she's my bae for this mission, and coupled with an amazing polearm Zaw, polearm Zaws just solve every problem out there. I was able to complete most of my rounds rather trivially. So listen up. Preparation phase, if you want to use Trinity as well, then I recommend you bring a wide range melee like polearms. No specific builds strictly, you can go for an energy vampire build if you want, just type it on Google Images, you'll find one. But really a little bit of duration and maybe efficiency could potentially help. You may even realize that I've got a whole lot of shield here, but that's just for survivability's sake. When you get to round 6 or 7, the infested swarms can get a bit intense, and also the red veil operatives that will come in at about that time as well. I'll explain more later. If you don't have Trinity, then Oberon would be great. I apologize for my funky looking Oberon Prime over here. Must have been smoking mushrooms when I did his colors. You know, mushrooms, cause Oberon is a nature themed Warframe. Told you my jokes suck. But anyway, the main reason why I didn't decide to use Oberon is because I just don't like to deal with the hassle of maintaining sufficient energy. And his third ability, Renewal, requires some good power strength, like really good power strength, somewhere around 230 to 240% in order for it to be strong enough to help the NPC survive the Red Veil Ops. You also have to play Oberon in a way that may be counterintuitive or even intimidating to fairly new players. You have to let the enemies hit you and hurt your health in order to maintain enough energy with this build, including the Rage mod. That's how the mod works. Health lost is converted to energy. Look it up. Besides those two frames, I personally wouldn't recommend exploring any of the other alternatives. You may think Limbo perhaps with the Haven Warframe mod would make defections trivial, but it's not as simple as it sounds. If Limbo's all you got, then go for a max range build and just use 243 and keep refreshing 3. Just keep banishing enemies you see and make sure you have the Haven mod. It's essential. All that said, I don't like playing Limbo because I'm a noob. Nezha may sound good on paper as well with the Firewalker ability, but when it comes down to instant heal, especially when those Red Veil Ops appear, you're just gonna want a Trinity. Trust me, yes, getting Trinity is a whole other ordeal, which I guess I'll just have to cover in a future video. You should have subscribed by now. What else do I gotta do to convince you? Another bad joke? Weapons wise, you're gonna be dealing with infested enemies for the most part, so slash weapons are gonna feel great. If you got the Atarax with a gas build, then you're good to go. Personally, I'm only gonna strongly recommend one thing, and that is a strong polearm with a gas build, or maybe even viral if you like. If possible, build a Zaw because conventional polearms will force you to either go for crits or status. Most of the times not both. Orthos Prime being an exception, but it's nothing compared to a properly built Zaw. There are lots of guides out there that you can check out. Finally, bring a one-shot weapon. A sniper for the Red Veil Ops. Now I appreciate if someone could help me with stats and weaknesses for the Red Veil Ops. Just leave a comment down below and I'll be sure to pin it. I've tried to search all over the internet, just couldn't get much info on them. Even Helios refuses to scan those bastards. I built my Rubico Prime for corrosive and that seemed enough though. Right, some basic stuff about defections before we move on. It's all about evacuating and escorting NPCs called Kavor to health regen stations or med boosters, and then finally to the extraction point. The first 4 waves will be simple. Right at about the 3rd or 4th, sometimes 5th wave, a Grineer Maniac will spawn, just one guy, So make sure to deal with him ASAP. Later on, at around the 6th or 7th wave, 3 Red Veil operatives will spawn and they have good firepower to take down one of the Cavors rather quickly, so keep your eye on them. So if you're using Trinity, just spam 4 and get rid of those dudes by any means necessary. If you're using Oberon, then be sure to keep yourself in between the Red Veil and the Cavor. There is a good chance that their combined DPS will overwhelm Oberon's renewal, hence why I recommended a very high power strength focused build. This should go on for 8 rounds, then you extract, hopefully with the systems. Now there is a secret, kinda, I mean it's similar to the system when farming for Nidus's parts. Just before you send the last round of NPCs to extraction, make sure that all of the regen stations or med boosters are at 100%. Yes, 100%. I thought it was BS2, but I tried it and I got the systems immediately on the first try. Now I'm aware that this is not gonna work every single time, but hey, there's a possibility that it may help with the RNG. I mean, if it helps you believe that you'll get the systems, then that itself is worth the effort. You gotta believe. Sometimes you just gotta believe. I know I did. One more thing, there are 3 defection missions. I recommend you skip the one on Phobos and just play either Caracol on Saturn or Ursa on Neptune. They have far higher drop rates for the systems. On Neptune, however, there's a higher risk of the Cavors getting stuck due to the tile set, so maybe you might wanna stick to Saturn. So that's it folks, really. Just do 2 rounds a day and try again the following day. Don't go in hardcore as you may start to lose it. I mean, everyone's grind game is different. You might be able to go through a whole day of just defection missions, I don't know. Just try not to get fixated on getting Harrow, the systems especially. Take it easy and go in with a friend. I'll be happy to help too. If you're on PC, just send me a DM through Instagram. Links down in the description. I hope this video has been informative at least. Obviously, I'm struggling to keep up with the content of bigger YouTubers. I just don't have the money or the time sometimes. Just give me a chance guys, I'll try my best for you. I mean, with the Fortuna 2 update which just launched, I guess I have my work cut out. Leave a like if you found this video cool, subscribe for more Warframe content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.